All right, let's go ahead and begin with just a few minutes of watching the breath as we usually do, and then I'll lead you in a short reflection to set our motivation. And then today we're going to do a meditation on loving kindness, which was the fourth of the four immeasurables. I didn't go through them in the traditional order, but nonetheless, we've touched on the other three. So I think today we'll just try to open our hearts a bit with loving kindness towards others. So let's begin again with just a breathing meditation. Give ourselves a chance to come into this space, focus the mind a bit. So if you have a technique that you already use with the breath, by all means, feel free to use that. If you need a suggestion, I generally suggest working with the area around the nostrils where we feel the sensation of the air coming in and out. Just making that your meditation object, stay present with it as best as you can. In any of our meditations, we want to be vigilant, kind of paying attention and seeing what's going on with the mind. And if we check in and see that the mind has wandered, gotten distracted, or gotten sleepy perhaps, then we notice that, let that go, and come back to the breath. So I'll ring the chime to begin the meditation period. Again, we'll do just 3 or 4 minutes in silence, and then I'll lead you in setting motivation and then the guided meditation. So now let's set our motivation for today's meditation by recalling how each of us, the Buddha says, has the potential to open our hearts completely. In fact, the state of Buddhahood is one where we have developed all these positive qualities of compassion, loving kindness, patience, wisdom, and so on. We've developed these to a limitless degree. And moreover, we have removed everything that obscures the mind, everything that holds us back, everything that keeps us trapped in this very limited state. We all have the possibility of attaining that. But of course, we have to do the practice that leads us there. We want to do it with that motivation, not just for the peace and well-being of this life, not even for what future results we might have in other existences, not even for our own liberation, but moreover, for the benefit of all beings, to develop ourselves completely to that state so that we can then help each of them perfectly, leading them on a path to attaining that same goal. So set that motivation of bodhicitta, that very big heart of the awakening mind, the mind that strives towards benefiting all sentient beings, and think that you're here today to engage in this meditation on loving kindness with that aim. So as usual with these qualities, we want to begin by developing them towards ourselves. So this first part of the meditation, we're going to generate loving kindness towards ourselves. And first, just reflect on the reality that you, like all beings, simply want to be happy, want to have the sources of happiness, want to be able to be at peace, to have good things in this life as well as beyond, and to have the ultimate happiness, the happiness of developing yourself completely. And so begin to generate thoughts towards yourself within that understanding. Again, whatever words work for you, but things along the lines of, may I be happy and have all the causes of happiness. May I know true well-being. May I have all that is good, wholesome in my life, and so on. Just spend a few minutes just generating these thoughts towards yourself and really being willing to receive this. And having cultivated that loving kindness towards yourself, make the strong intention to do this for yourself, to engage in whatever is necessary to create the causes for happiness for yourself, all the way to the ultimate well-being of Buddhahood. Then I'd like you to bring to mind someone who is already very dear in your life. This could be a partner, child, a parent, sibling, a pet, some being who your heart naturally opens up towards. You can even visualize them in the space before you. And then think about what are the deepest desires and wishes of this being. Don't they want happiness and well-being just like myself? And wouldn't it be wonderful if they had all the conditions that would lead them to not just temporal well-being, but ultimate well-being? Again, your heart should naturally open to this being because you already feel some affinity, some closeness towards them. But continue to open your heart, generating similar thoughts towards them. Thoughts such as, may you be happy. May you have everything that will lead to true happiness and peace. May you know true well-being. May you be safe and healthy. May you have all that you desire. Again, work with whatever thoughts are appropriate for you towards this being and continue to generate those thoughts over the next few minutes, opening your heart more and more towards this dear friend, this dear being. And as your heart fills with loving kindness towards this dear friend, try to accompany this with the thought that I will do whatever it takes to lead this dear friend to happiness, to all the causes of happiness. By developing myself, I will be able to accomplish this and really feed that back into this strong intention to become the source of happiness for others, especially this dear friend. And then let's bring to mind a being who falls into the category of a stranger. It may be hard to do this, but think of someone who perhaps you've seen in town, just somebody who the last time you were in a grocery store, you just saw from a distance, them out doing their shopping, whatever. Whoever it is that you bring to mind, just try to imagine them in the space before you. This is a being that you don't really have any strong feelings of connection to, but begin to think about what it's like for that being. We don't know their minds, we don't know their lives, but we know what fundamentally drives them. Think about how they desire well-being, how they don't want to have any difficulties. They want there to be joyous occasions in their life, to have everything that will bring some sense of well-being and happiness, to have good conditions. And think about how at the deepest level, although they may not have that strong intention, they desire true peace and well-being, the ultimate peace that comes when one has fully opened their own hearts and developed their own qualities. So observing this being through that understanding, begin to generate what thoughts of loving kindness you can towards them, thinking, may this being, this stranger, find what they seek. May they know happiness in this life and beyond. May they find the true happiness and peace that they can attain. May they have only good qualities, live their lives joyfully. May they be a source of joy for others. Again, use whatever thoughts work for you to generate thoughts of loving kindness towards this stranger. And here too, can we generate the thought, the intention to help this being to find that happiness that they seek? What is it like to take that personal responsibility to think that I will do whatever it takes for this being, even though they are a stranger? They're just like me, just like my friends, simply wanting to be happy. Therefore, I will take responsibility for leading this being to happiness and the causes of happiness. And then we bring to mind a difficult person in our lives, someone who may have harmed or upset us, may have done things to harm others that we care about, or could even be a public figure whose views we oppose, who we think is harming others in their actions, somebody who we find it very difficult to open our hearts towards. Bring someone to mind and imagine them in this space before you. And then think about the fact that this being is just like all those strangers, all our friends, all other beings, and simply wanting to be happy. Might be very misguided as to how to achieve happiness and its causes, but nonetheless has that same fundamental desire and the same potential to achieve true happiness. And begin to generate thoughts of loving kindness, opening your heart to this difficult person, thinking, may you too find what you seek, true happiness, true peace. May you have what will bring you that result, all the causes and conditions that will lead you to that state. May you have all that your heart desires. And try to work with this being, opening your heart more and more, embracing them with loving kindness. And then, with what loving kindness you have in your heart, try to generate that same intention towards this being. While they might have challenged you very much in this life, caused you pain or others anguish, difficulty, hold that thought to be a benefit to them, to work on developing yourself so you can lead this being as well as all beings to attaining what they most deeply desire, the peace and happiness that they seek. And really hold that thought of being a benefit to all sentient beings, with a heart that is open to every one of them, wishing for them all to have happiness and the causes of happiness. Then we do a short dedication, dedicating all the positive potential we've created through turning our minds towards others with loving kindness so that we can develop this quality completely and fully, as well as all the qualities that will help us to attain the state of enlightenment. We can remove all the negative tendencies that are obstacles to the development of ourselves and attain the state of Buddhahood. And in that state, lead all beings to perfect enlightenment. And we also dedicate for the good health and long lives of all of our precious teachers, as well as we dedicate for all those that we're holding in our hearts right now, those beings who are in our lives, who are dealing with difficulties, obstacles, who are suffering from illness or who are dying or who have died, so that they will benefit from what we have done here today. And may all beings benefit from all of our actions. Okay, wonderful. Try to live your day with loving kindness, keeping your heart open. I know it's difficult in these times, but this is how we make it through. So, all right, see you all soon. And again, if I don't see you before the holiday, have a very peaceful and safe holiday. And I'll look forward to seeing you again. Okay.